Hey guys, it's Old Man G again. Welcome back to Red Devil Studios, and today we're going to be talking about whether Manchester United should sell Paul Pogba or not. So, as most of you are probably already aware, maybe not already aware, Paul Pogba, being in Japan, I think has come out publicly and has basically sort of said, um, to paraphrase, he's had his good season, it's been a bad good season, blah 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 blah, but that he's looking for a new challenge. And this is quite significant because he's publicly come out and said it, that he feels like he can move on, wants a new challenge, etc. And with teams like Madrid and Juventus um, showing their interest, we know that certainly Zinedine Zidane wants Paul Pogba at Real Madrid, and the question comes down to whether they can afford to actually bring Paul Pogba to Real Madrid, given the fact that he's probably going to cost at least, I would say, at least 100 million plus, and they've already bought Eden Hazard for I think about €100, I think 100 million minus add-ons. I can't remember. But anyway, so yeah, I guess I'm really posting this or video just to sort of gauge, what are people's reactions to this, and just have a discussion about it. Because, to be honest, um, I feel that when a player comes out, I mean, I have a lot of love for Paul Pogba. I do think I'm on the camp that he got a fair amount of unnecessary criticism. I'm not saying he played well, far from it. But compared to some of the other members of the team, I'm sorry, but Phil Jones, um, Ashley Young in particular, even to a certain extent, David De Gea towards the end of the season, was making some kind of solid mistakes where if he doesn't make those mistakes, we actually might have got top four. Um, so basically, what I'm saying is that you know I still do believe that Paul Pogba is a very very good player, and I wish he did want to commit his future to Manchester United. But now that he's obviously come out and said that he wants another challenge or new challenge publicly, and it's not rumored, this presents a bit of a problem because you essentially have a player who has publicly said he wants, in effect, to seek football elsewhere. Do you sell him? Does the board say, okay, let's sell him, let's cash him because he's still got 3 years left on his contract? Or do we say, right, okay, he, like the official Manchester United stance, which is he's a Manchester United player, he's not for sale. And it's a difficult one because on the one hand, I try and see things from two different perspectives, and that's what I want to gauge from this channel, is that I want to give a balanced approach to a lot of these things. So on the one hand, you can say, okay, we spent about 89 million to get Paul Pogba and bring him to Manchester United. Um, at the very least, it's reasonable for us to sell him and make money from him, especially as he's under contract. United are under no obligation to sell Paul Pogba, given that he has 3 years. So we should, and we're in a strong position to to barter for a good deal for him. If Real Madrid like, right, okay, on Paul Pogba, will say, right, okay, that's fine. You have to give us at least 100, 120 million, I would say, plus. Certainly in this inflated market, I certainly think that we at least 100. When Felipe Coutinho is being sold from Liverpool for 120 million plus, I think, even, and Paul Pogba is much better than Felipe Coutinho in my opinion. So if he's going to go to Madrid, especially if he's got 3 more years left, he has to go for a large sum. And then if we can do the deal on time, we can then use that funds to actually buy a placement. Because that's my fear, really, is that Paul Pogba leaves, we sell him, he pushes for system, and then we don't have enough time to sell players because our transfer window closes sooner compared to other teams. And that's a really, really bad circumstance for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to start a season with. Because let's be frank, so far in this transfer window, though things might change when it comes to, as we're getting closer and closer to July, I feel like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has not been backed. I think people are going to be expecting him to do miracles next season, and so far I've only signed Daniel James. So I'm not sure what people expect from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but if you're having a situation where he's not been back, he's not got the signings he's wanted, and then to make matters worse, one of your better players in Paul Pogba doesn't want to be here and wants to leave and decides to leave, it's just going to create an environment, a situation that's not going to be productive going forward until the next season. So basically, you know, I would say, certainly from the perspective of the United fan, that we should cut losses and sell him. I guess, I never feel you should keep a player under at a club if he doesn't want to be at a club. I feel if we sell him early, we could make a good amount of money from him, and invest that in a squad that really needs a good squad. Because yes, Paul Pogba is a very good player. I admit that, and I think when he's on his game, he is unplayable. When he's played well, he has played well for Manchester United. Um, but is he? And clearly, when he's not playing, he is a big miss because we can just see how poor he's in. But that adds more credence to the fact that we really need to rebuild this squad and win the investment. And so, I guess in summary, I guess the way I see it is that if Paul wants to go and we can sell him, make a lot of money, and invest that in the squad and get good signings into the United squad before the beginning of the season to compete at the very least for top four and ideally for at least one trophy, then no problem. What I don't want to see happen is, we sell Paul Pogba and then the money just disappears and we're left with, we've already lost, well, Andy Herrera we know is leaving. We will potentially lose Paul Pogba, and so you're having a situation where, although there's rumours that obviously we're getting potentially Bruno Fernandes and a few others, but I don't want there to be a situation where essentially only signings, Daniel James, maybe one other, maybe let's say Maguire for 80 million, and that's it. And we've essentially lost two of our better midfielders in the park, and we expect us to sort of compete. And no, that's just not going to work. So we really, 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 really need to make sure that this, whatever this situation is handled well. Do I trust Ed Woodward to handle it well? I'm not sure. I mean, just imagine, guys, just imagine if he says, like, right, okay, it's like swap. So, like, we give him Pogba and they give us Gareth Bale, and I don't know, something, maybe with a bit of money or something. Gareth Bale is a very good player, but I just feel, especially after what the situation with Alexis Sanchez, it's like once bitten, twice shy. Um, he's again a guy, looks like he's going out of his prime. Manchester United should not be a retirement banter club where people come to play football, put a bit of effort in, and get an amazing payday, and we're stuck with paying mediocre players really, really high wages. I'm not saying Gareth Bale is a terrible player. I'm just saying he spends a lot of his time injury prone. I mean, he hasn't really looked fit for the last year and a bit or so. So I just think that really, I know. I just think that if that was the case with sort of Paul Pogba Bale, like, I think we're making a loss here, and I really, really hope that Ed Woodward, who I know loves Gareth Bale, doesn't make the decision. So yeah, there's nothing much to say really. I mean, it's difficult on Paul Pogba, and I think Paul Pogba does divide the Manchester United fan base. Some people love him, some people absolutely hate him. You see it in the press as well. Like, he gets so much stick, and to be honest, well, I think some of that stick is warranted. I do think some of it isn't, especially when certain players don't get it. And that for me is the thing. It's like everyone deserves stick. Certain people deserve stick, especially when it's around. But I think that, I think that stick should be balanced. And I think that you can't on the one hand say Paul Pogba deserves to get all the stick he gets, and at the same time say nothing about Ashley Young in our team, for example. Or say nothing about how Lukaku doesn't take his chances, or even the likes of Rashford, Lingard, and Martial, who haven't been playing particularly well. So there has to be balance, I think. And while Paul Pogba was quite poor for a lot of last season, he was by no means the worst and not the only one. Okay, so yeah, thanks for listening, guys. Please like, share, and subscribe this video. Post your comments below for any suggestions on further discussion topics, but we'll be posting a lot more in the future. Take care, and it is Old Man G out.